Hi, everybody. This is Barbara Draska with the Bundle Masterclass. And tonight I'm so excited to introduce you to a new friend of mine and a soon-to-be friend of mine, because I really haven't met Abe yet. I just kind of met Abe about 60 seconds ago on the webinar. But Christy Michelle and Abe Ortolani, it's Ortolani, correct? Did I say that right? Awesome. Yes, tonight they're going to talk to us, in case you're wondering if you're in the right place. The name of this webinar is the Little Bundle Tool with a Big Attitude.
I love it.
So these folks came onto my radar about a week and a half ago. I was at a marketing conference and suddenly my email starts going off. Ding, ding, messenger, ding, 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 ding. And it's half of you guys asking me about this tool that was just somebody emailed out about this bundling tool. And I'm the creator of the Bundle Masterclass. And you're like, Barbara, what is this tool? And do you recommend it? And can we use it? And what's this all about? I was like, man, I need to reach out to these folks, find out what they're doing, and see what kind of value we can bring to you folks in my tribe with their little bundling tool with an attitude. So after a 3-hour conversation with Christy last week that started as a 30-minute chat.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that we only stopped because she had to go feed the dog or something.
I think so.
She was going out to dinner, and we could have kept going for a while longer. So after that conversation, I'm like, man, I would love for you guys to come and talk about what you're doing with bundling and private label and all the cool stuff you're doing with my tribe. And I'm going to kind of let you loose. I actually have very few, usually I have a whole list of interview questions. There's just a couple of things on here.
Yeah.
So you guys you know what you're doing and you're smart and savvy. So I know you've created a presentation for everybody too, which is kind of cool. You guys all know who I am, Barbara Draska, AKA the Deal Diva, because I'm good at putting deals together, as is evidenced by getting these guys on this call. By the way, Abe just emailed me about an hour ago, and he said, hey, Barbara, is it okay if I offer some stuff for free to the people on the webinar? No obligation whatsoever, no nothing. He's gonna announce a couple of really cool tools at the end of the webinar that will help you in your Amazon business in general, not just bundling. So he's going to tell you all about those teaser here towards the end of the webinar, but they're absolutely free. So stay on the webinar, hang in there, get a piece of paper and a pen and a cup of tea or whatever your favorite beverage is this time of night, and we're just going to go ahead and get started. So who wants to take it, Michelle or Abe? I'm just going to minimize myself and let you guys take over.
Yeah, let's go for it. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. And while I'm doing this, I just want to say thank you for having us on here. I was so excited. You already, we're going to start the slideshow. I just want to say, just as we're getting started, again, we just kind of got on the same. So I have known about Barbara, of course, for a very long time, but we have not had the opportunity to cross paths. And, so she showed up on our radar saying, hey, tell me a little bit about what this extension is that you guys are doing and give me a little bit of your background. And like she said, it started off and we were like, oh, this will just be a quick call. I'll tell her a little bit about it, see if she's interested, that kind of thing. And before you know it, it really was 3 hours later. And we just had the same energy and vibe. And, we both just realized what sort of entrepreneurial spirits we had. And, here we are a week later and we're doing this presentation for you guys. So thank you all for being here. And I drag Abe along with me whenever we do these things. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. So what to expect. All right, so let's tell you what's on deck for tonight. We'll give you a little bit of background about us, just so we're, I think we know, we saw some friendly faces earlier, and I think that, there's a little bit of crossover. I'm sure that we know a couple of you, but for those of you who don't, we'll just kind of tell you who we are and a little bit of our background and sort of the process on how we got here and, all about bundling and why we decided to build this extension. So we'll go into that. And then we're going to touch on the power of keywords and bundling. And for most of you guys, especially because you're in Barbara's tribe, you guys already pretty much know this, but it'll probably just be a refresher for most of you. But what we want to do, in case some people are just new and kind of getting started, we want to just lay the foundation of sort of the importance of keywords, because it really feeds into the foundation, our thought process in whenever we build or whenever we decided we wanted to build this extension. So, and that is sort of taking a lead, whether that's an idea or a product, and kind of converting that over into a keyword so that we can better understand and possibly uncover and expose a market from that. So we'll go into tons of examples about that. And then in all those three things, that'll probably take us a few minutes. I mean, we really just kind of want to set the foundation to get going. And Abe and I really like to teach and sort of explain in a show rather than tell kind of way. So we'll blow through those, and then we're going to show you exactly what the cool, features are that we have in our extension, and kind of how it works and why we added the features that we did. And then we're going to go through some examples. And so Abe's going to take us through that. So without further ado, this is us. I am not the bald one. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm not the bald one.
I have hair there.
You do?
A little bit.
Maybe. There's there's shave up top. I don't know. We could plop a blonde wig on you and people might be.
It's tight. It's short. Yeah.
Now, if you cut your hair, you can. I'm just saying, you got plenty of it, right? Cut your hair.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I can donate it.
Right?
Maybe, but then I can have the beard.
Make
And
a little wig for Abe.
We'll swap places next time. All right, we'll do that intro. Well, anyway, so I am Christy Michelle, and I got started in my business back in 2015. In my corporate life, I was a project manager, and I was a marketing manager before that. But I kind of wanted to start something up on the side, and I thought, well, I've got a full day job, so what can I do on the side to actually make a little bit of extra money? And I learned about this whole selling online thing, and I thought, eBay, well, I don't know, I really want to do that, but Amazon, now that sounds like fun. So I immediately, when I started doing research, I realized the first thing I wanted to do was do private label. All right, I wanted that control. I wanted to be able to build a brand. I just had all these big visions in my head, and then someone told me that was one of the more difficult things to do when getting started selling online. So I told myself for the remainder of the year I was just going to do regular RA and OA. I just wanted to flip some products and see what that was like and just understand just the mechanics behind selling on Amazon. So I started doing that, and I quickly learned that I hated the race to the bottom and all of the competition, and that whatever products I bought, I thought I had this margin, and every day it went down and down and down, and I thought I didn't want anything to do with that. So I reasoned with myself, I'm not quite ready to do private label just yet, but maybe I could do a couple of bundles, because even though I'm not building, a product from scratch necessarily and branding it, I am at least bringing a new listing to market. And that's the second half of what you have to do when you launch a private label. You have to bring it to, you have to build a listing, you have to take pictures, you've got to optimize it, you have to, run sponsored ads and those types of things. So I thought, well, this is my way of kind of tippy-toeing into where I think I really want to go. So I was so excited. I did all this research. I launched my very first bundle, and it did a complete, absolute flop. It was the worst one I've ever done to date, and I thought it was going to be the best one ever. And I quickly realized 1.5 million mistakes. My primary one was my price point was just extremely far too high, because I bought 5 different brands, put them together, and then I had to pay for those retail. And the only way I was going to make profit was just far, far, far too high. So I kind of started doing more research and how to, there was a local group when I was living up in Boston. We kind of got together and we said, we really want to really learn how to do this bundling thing, because I thought it would be easier than it was, and it wasn't. So we ended up, there was a couple of local women that I met up with, and we ended up doing some research on YouTube, and Abe, you might shoot me for this, but there was this guy that was just about an hour north of us in Boston, and he did a video that was called how to, launching 30 bundles in 10 days. By this guy named Abe Ortolani. And we thought, well, this guy is only, an hour away from us. Maybe he'll, come down and come to one of our meetings, and we can learn about how to do this. And so that's how Abe and I ended up sort of connecting. That was back in 2016, right?
Yeah, about 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while now. And anyway, so learned a lot of tricks and got to be much, much better, and started to really kind of understand the process behind keywords and kind of building what makes a good bundle. So fast forward to today, I do have several bundles, but I primarily do private label. Most of my bundles are what I call exclusive bundles. So they incorporate at least one element that is a private label product. So I call them exclusive to me. I also have, I dabble a little bit in everything. So I have all of the products that I sell, and I've done very well with that. I was able to leave my corporate job last summer. And so now I do this full time, but I've also kind of gotten into a bit of the information side. Some of you may have seen me launched a course, promotional companies, launching private labels using promotional companies, and there's a method behind that. And then of course now we're getting into some of the technology pieces, so we're extensions and other things. And then I also have a service on the side, which is a VA headhunting concierge service. So I'm a little bit of an entrepreneur, kind of all over the place, but really I got started. One of the very first things I ever tried was bundling, and my inspiration really was Abe, and he's kind of the master in my mind when it comes to keywords, and we've kind of built that into our private label. But that's a bit of my background and my story, and let's see what and Abe, I'll pass it on to you.
That's high praise. I appreciate that.
The time is 8:12
Oops.
p.m.
Sorry, Alexa was yelling at me over here.
Oh.
So I started my private label journey about the end of 2014, right? So before that, I'm sort of a serial entrepreneur. I've never actually worked for anybody else in my entire life. So, when I got right out of high school, I tried college for a little bit, didn't work out, and my family had a little ironwork business I started working in, but and I kind of dabbled in ironwork, and I became a welder and all that stuff, and definitely was more construction, right? So I always was raised hard work pays off, work your butt off, and you can make money and change your life, right? So when I was about 25 years old, I started my first company. So that was a commercial flooring company. Basically, we did huge projects for large buildings, and that was great. And about 7 years into that is when I needed my first surgery. So the hard work beat the hell out of my body for a number of years. And, by the time I was just, past 30, my early 30s, I had to, get my first surgery, right? So went back to work in another surgery, so now my knees are destroyed. But that was when the doctor said to me, okay, you need to find something else to do because you're destroying your body, So that was okay, what am I going to do? So luckily I had the business. I was able to become a manager and kind of just let other people run the company, which helped. But, I've also began to start hating that because I read books like The 4-Hour Work Week and began to research and learn about Amazon and things like that. So also at this time, started going through a little divorce, which was fantastic. But what happened was that really pushed me to start selling online. So what I did is I had to start selling all my construction equipment online on eBay, right? That's literally my first exposure to online selling, right? That led me into Amazon, which led me to retail arbitrage, which I absolutely hated, and could not figure it out. And 8 months into this business, I hated retail arbitrage. I didn't think I was going to make it. I was thinking about how I could go back to work. But then all of a sudden, I was talking to a really good friend of mine named Robin Johnson, and she said, well, listen, look at your account and see what's working for you right now. So I went into my account and I said, okay, what's working for me right now? And it was bundles. I had created some bundles, and they were exclusive listings, and they were pretty much making 80% of my profit on my Amazon account. So I was like, okay, let's get rid of everything else and let's really focus on this bundling thing. And that's where I started, really doing well with that and made some videos, and that's where Christy kind of saw my video, right? And Q4 was on, Q4 2015, and I was just making tons of bundles and really doing well. I had my first 6-figure month that Q4, right? So bundles was huge for me. So the natural progression was I started bundling wholesale. Then I started white labeling wholesale products. Then I started sourcing from China. Now my business is 100% private label, sourced overseas, and that's all I do, right? So bundling is always a unique tactic. And I look at bundling as kind of the simplest form of private label, right? You're able to create a product, position it, create your listing, run sponsored ads, and things like that. So I've expanded into the business more so. I am a private label coach and brand consultant. I've done well over 150 successful product launches on Amazon, and I manage a team of 5 other coaches, and we run about 150 students. So I've had my, I've kind of seen every part of this business, and I've actually just started also a marketing company that we do kind of social media marketing for local businesses. So I've expanded out kind of in the entrepreneurial mindset to keep, building multiple income streams and things like that. So, so that's a little bit about me.
The one thing that Abe didn't mention in there, and I don't know if you guys caught on to this, but he did all of this, hard work that was just like labor work, right? Blue collar labor work. Whenever he got started, he didn't know how to type. He didn't own a computer. He didn't understand how to order things online. He's this guy. So just, taking it from anyone. Oh, I'm sorry. But if
you had to dog the typing.
But anyone here who just thinks, I'm not a tech savvy person, you're talking to someone. He is the perfect success story for someone who was not a tech savvy person, and he's come this far and is just incredible. So I just also wanted to note that.
Yeah, that's 100% true. You'll have people call me the data miner and PPC expert. 4 years ago, I didn't know how to turn a computer on, and that's facts. Like I didn't have an email address. I still can't type, and,
that's true.
Another big thing I missed out too, and you may have seen, I'm also, Christy and I both are also co-founders of a Facebook group called Seller Tradecraft. It's actually one of the, it's a really great location for advanced private label tactics. So just wanted to throw that out there too. But we're very much, totally immersed in this type of business now. And
we can't get
I have all the freedom in the world, and I love it. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's go ahead so that's us, guys. If we didn't know you, that's a little bit of our background, but let's kind of dig back into what we want to show you tonight, and that is, we touched on the power of keywords on Amazon, so how it works, right? So customers, they go to Amazon, they search for a product, right? They're like, oh, I think I would like, a nightlight. So they enter the search term in the Amazon search bar. Fascinating, I know. But then Amazon's, sophisticated algorithm, displays products based on keyword relevance, primarily keyword relevance, but of course, a lot of other factors, historical performance, and a variety of other things. But keyword relevance is the number one thing. So when people go in and they type in nightlight, right, odds are 90% of the things that are going to show up on the page are going to be a nightlight, right? So knowing how people search for a product through keywords not only helps you properly optimize, right, properly optimize your listing, but it will expose more product opportunities. So we're going to get into that. But the power of bundling, guys, I mean, I know you guys all know this. This is very kind of fundamental, but I want to get us on the same page. But like Abe said earlier, bundling can be thought of a really simple form of private label. And like whenever I started out, I thought, well, at least bundling, even if it's 2 things that I take off the shelf, I still have to create that listing from scratch. And so that was, at least my version of, the second half of what it would take to launch a private label. So once we know how a customer searches for a product, right? And so here I have an example for gender reveal party supplies, right? So we know that there are, we're able to see that there are tools out there that can show us there is a lot of search volume. People are searching for, this type of thing, right? We can use the power of bundling to basically build a unique product into that space, because gender reveal party supplies, that doesn't point to a specific product, right? That's not like a garlic press. You know what a garlic press is, right? But this is, it helps us get, this is where a lot of traffic is coming in. These are the keywords that people are honing in on. And so we're able to build a product. So we kind of use this a little bit loosely between bundling and private label. It's sort of a lot of the same concepts, especially when we talk about private label is typically built on, generic non-branded items, right? So you're not going after the Nikes or the Reeboks or whatever. You're not going after branded items. It's usually generic non-branded items. So we're able to build upon the keywords, and that's how people are going to find our listing. So building this helps us, we're able to create a unique listing that gives you more control over the quality, over the marketing, the sale of your offer, right? It enables you the opportunity to position it and optimize however you want and run sponsored ads. So I know you guys are all savvy bundle makers, but I really kind of just want us to get all on the same page here. And the reason that we're really harping on these keywords is because that's a key feature that we wanted to put in our bundle extension. So whenever we run the extension, we show keywords that show up at the bottom of the extension, and we'll show you here in just a very short moment. But it was one of the key features that we wanted to add because we knew that that would be very valuable when we decide, if and when we decided we wanted to go move forward with, a bundle that we've created, and we wanted to go source that and buy that and build it. So just wanted to kind of get us all on the same page with that. And also because it leads us into, as I touched on earlier, sort of our method, our thought process. And so, Abe, I don't know if you want to chat on this.
Jump in. Yep. Yeah, sure. So, a lot of the way that I want to take a big picture approach to product discovery. Of course, we come from I'm mostly private label these days. So, we're always looking to find leads, right? So big picture approach, like leads can come from anywhere, right? Pretty much you can go into your inventory. What has sold well for you in the past? Any sort of wholesale list, inventory from a wholesaler. You got your scraping software for like online arbitrage, right? Mm-hmm. You can go in and pull leads from different e-com sites, reverse engineering Amazon, right? Keyword research, all these things. Anytime we find a particular product, that's going to be a lead, right? So the way that we do it is we turn that lead into a keyword. So we convert that into the keyword. How are the most customers searching for that particular product, right? And that is how we set up this bundle, this bundle extension to work. It works on Amazon first pages, right? So when a customer types in, you saw earlier, right? Customer types in a search term into the Amazon search box, they show you a list of products, right? So if you think of it, a keyword is like a selling position on Amazon, right? So what you want to do is find how the most, customers search for a particular product. And then what we can do is, run our extension and analyze that. And when we do that, we can expose a market, right? So a single product, a single lead converted to a keyword can expose a market, right? So many other products are sold in a particular market, right? So and that's what we're looking to do. And our extension will do that very quickly for us, right?
Cool. So you guys, we just put this in here and I thought about it afterwards and I thought this is such a basic list because, Barbara has 1,001 ways and tactics to find and generate leads. So I thought, you know what, I guess we'll just throw this in here, but this is just
Hey, Christy, can I interrupt for just a second? Yeah. I just want to clarify a little bit to you guys. When I introduced this webinar, I said it's the, it's the little tool with a big attitude, but what I didn't say is what kind of tool it was. And I recognize that Abe and Christy are calling it an extension without realizing that I didn't introduce to you that this tool is actually, the tool we're talking about is called Bundle Shopper, and it is a Chrome extension that you install on your Chrome browser, and then it acts within your Chrome browser. So when when Abe and Christy refer to an extension or the extension, that's what they're talking about. So it's called Bundle Shopper, and it is a Chrome extension. And they're going to show you how it works. But I wanted to clarify that in case some of you were maybe wondering what, maybe weren't putting those two things together. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's a good call, Barbara. I'm sorry. And and I think we kind of planned to go through this in about 5 minutes, I think we're probably 15 into it now. But basically, these are just some ways that you can go about, generating leads, starting with a profitable product, checking your current, what you have for inventory, what's working for you, what is already profitable, scraping software, starting with a supplier, looking for the keywords there, niching down to a specific category on Amazon. So what we're going to do right now is actually, I'm going to hand this on over to Abe, and he's just going to go surfing live, and we'll show you exactly what we're talking about. So Abe, I'm going to hand this on over to you if I stop sharing, and then we'll get going. So yes, thank you for that, Barbara.
No worries. And while Abe is sharing, I'll just kind of fill in a little bit. You guys know that I've done a couple of Fanatical Niche Market live brainstorming webinars. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on bundlemasterclass.com. And that'll give you a start for what the heck do you start searching for on Amazon in order to use tools like the Bundle Shopper. So go ahead, Abe,
Yeah.
back to you.
Yeah, so I'm just going to run through a bunch of examples, and let me know if you can see. I don't know if where the camera pops up here, but I hope it doesn't block the
Yeah, no,
extension. So,
you're good.
I can move that
anyway,
camera down.
yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go through a little bit of flow of different ways that you can use this tool. Now, there's obviously going to be a number of ways, but pretty much it works on any Amazon first page and storefront page, right? So from any one of those positions, you can use our extension to find multiple products. So, you know, my son and I, we love camping, right? So we go camping all the time, big outdoors person. I live in New Hampshire. So I just threw in a search term around camping, which was camping essentials, right? So, you know, from here, it pulls up a lot of different products related to camping. But what we can do is quickly see this by, you know, plugging in our Chrome extension. So our extension is going to be downloaded in the Chrome store, and, you know, it goes right into your browser and works from any Amazon page just with the click of this button. So we're going to click on this little green box here, and it's going to pull up the tool, right? So this is a more general search term, right? So I'm going to go through a process of how you can expose multiple products related to any sort of niche, right? So right now we're kind of generally on like just a camping essentials, right? A big page of all camping products. So what I like to do is just gather a bunch of ideas right now, right? So I'm just pulling leads off of this page. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start clicking a number of different products so I can show some of the features in the tool, right? So what it does is allows you to click on these products. And each product, if you notice, it lists the price. The main product here lists the BSR, so the best sellers rank will be listed on the main product. And then you'll see a little line connecting to the main product. That means that in the Amazon detail page, which is pretty much, if I click on any of these pages, going to pull up the singular page of the product. It's called detail page, right? Down on below that page, you'll see a scroll that says frequently bought together, right? So if it's listed as frequently bought together, which is Amazon's data telling you that when a customer buys this item, they also buy this one frequently, right? Frequently bought together. So this line between two products says that that's happening, right, within that product listing. These two products are frequently bought together with this product here. Now, we also added additional layer because there's so many valuable scrolls in the detail page. One is like sponsored products related to this. You know, you'll see like, you know, customers also viewed this. But what we really love is the scroll that says customers who bought this also bought. What that's telling you is the customer buying trend, right? When a customer buys a particular product, what do they frequently also buy related to this other product, right? So you'll see other products in the niche. So what we did is ran, and if you hover on this box, you'll see that we put a color on it. So some of these will be white, which means it goes to a key, it basically pulls like the first couple that you see in that thread. But if it's highlighted in blue, that's going to be a keyword match. So we pulled the main keywords out of all the listings and titles, and the ones that, you know, those keywords get matched, we highlight them in blue. So that's a keyword match find, right? And also we have exact ASIN match finds that will also see, you know, in those detail pages, if an exact ASIN match, it'll pull up here and be highlighted in green. So it allows us to aggregate a lot of data related to the initial product. So all these pages you'll see is under the main image, and these are the aggregated bundle finds, you know, pulled from all that data, right? So and you see the bottom here, we do have a list of the common keywords that it has tracked. So what we like to do, what I like to do, is go ahead and start selecting multiple products on a general search term like this. You can also click on the titles here, and it'll pull up the detail page automatically. So I just go ahead and I'm going to click a bunch of related products. So we got a first aid kit, a water filter here, you know, a fire starter, spark thing. You know, for lack of my knowledge here, I'm just going to start clicking on some products. So here's a light, a trash can. You know, these are all related to camping in some way. Here's a utensil set.
And as you scroll down, you can see that this is all of this main product. That column is everything on this Amazon first page and everything that's related to it out to the right.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So what I can do now is after clicking on, I can click on this bunch of products, right? What we can do now is we have this little shopping cart feature, and you see everything I clicked had a value of $122 sale price collectively, right? You know, obviously we're not going to make an 8 or 9 piece bundle, related to all those products and sell it for $122. But this allows us for a lot of opportunities to bundle certain things together and go down kind of the rabbit trail of product discovery. So what I can do is click on the shopping cart. It's going to basically show all the products that you have gathered in your list here. So here's, about, 7 products or so, 7 or 8. So what you can do from here is delete the ones if you take another look at them and you don't think it's really something you want to sell. But you can also download into all the data into a CSV file, right? So I'm going to show you that file here. And what the CSV file is going to allow you to do is take a deeper look into each product, right? So now each product you selected becomes a lead, right? So now if you're asking yourself like, okay, how do I know you grabbed 8, 9 products? That's great. How do I know which one is the right bundle to go with another one, right? So that's why we aggregated this data into a CSV file. So just to, this is your original search term here. Just to explain this a little bit, you got your ASIN, the product titles, their selling price, the category they're listed in, and the BSR rank for each product. All of these products are doing pretty well in this category. Also listed the subcategory and the subcategory rank. Now, what I love about this tool is a feature that we are able to scrape storefront pages. So we also pulled the data from all the storefront links, right? So we basically pulled the links in for each storefront for each one of these sellers, because especially in private label, if you discover a product, in a seller selling a product, chances are he's launched a lot of products in that niche or that market, right? So that allows you to kind of go into the storefronts and see what else you could possibly sell related to that market, right? And find some more bundle options, right? So really love, pulling the storefront pages is great. Now, what I would do is then you can use each one of these products as a potential lead, right? So let's just take this one, for example, which is a first aid kit. Well, first I'll show you a storefront page, right? So if I just click on this link here, this is going to take you to this seller's storefront page. So that's that first product, this first aid kit. And I'll run the extension again, just see what I'm talking about, right? So now this seller is obviously selling a bunch of products, related to camping and things like that. But we're able to discover a couple of new products here. For example, we have, earplugs and, a couple little, a couple of little things related to that niche. So these are other products you could possibly discover, right? So now what's the right product to bundle with a first aid kit, right? So if I come back and go to amzut.com here, I'm going to search.
Hey, Abe.
Yes.
I just want to answer one quick question for you. If you could go back the ASIN match, just highlighting, can you show us an example of what an ASIN match is? Just like 2 pictures that look the same. So an ASIN match, we had a question come in, Craig asked what the ASIN match is. And so anywhere on the extension, under the bundles, bundle 1, 2, and 3, doesn't matter which one of the main products it is, as long as there is an ASIN match with one of them and the other. So I don't know, Abe, if you can find a good example. So let's see.
Let me see if I can get out of here. Okay. Yeah, let me see if there's an ASIN match on here. Yeah, so basically what an ASIN match means is if you click on any one of these products.
So right there, no, just show that example, the one with the 22, the camp kitchen utensil organizer. So you can see that is the exact same product, and that is something that is frequently purchased with this camping cookware nonstick pan. And then if you scroll down, Abe, it is also a frequently purchased with another camping tableware set. So the cool part is when you can see just such like a high level view of this, you're able to see on the whole page, right? What is the most frequently purchased with item? And so I know that Abe's going to come up with more examples, but if you had something that was very basic that was like a garlic press, right? Like just every single garlic press, doesn't matter who sells it, doesn't matter if it's product, doesn't matter who manufactures it. If you start to see that, I don't know, like the peeler thing is the number one thing, like the common denominator among all of them. Doesn't matter which garlic press, just you start seeing that pattern. You can see that's a validation for a pretty good bundle, no matter which one if you wanted to go source a garlic press and put it with the most frequently. So it also gives you a high level view to really like a snapshot see on what a most common denominator is that goes along with whatever your main product is. And so, Abe, I think you've got a good example for that later.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, okay, so forgot where I was kind of leaving off here, but let's say, I think I was going to just show. So for example, if you're coming to Camping Essentials here and you find a number of these products, well, I mean, obviously from this page, you can see if this is frequently bought with these two items, but what I like to do is take each one of these items and turn them into a keyword, right? So basically can come back onto this page and type in first aid kit. Here's my fast typing for you.
Oh, well, do you want to?
What's that?
Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so we're going to take the first aid kit and run this again. Just a little bit of lag here.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Okay, so now we can see what is frequently purchased with, all first aid kits, right? So now we're finding what is commonly frequently bought together, right? So we have all first aid kits now on this page. So what's most often bought with the first aid kit, right? Again, we're seeing these products. Again, it's highlighted green for the ASIN match. That means, and just to elaborate on that is, when this says an ASIN match, it's gone into the listing, found that exact ASIN and matched it here and it displayed it in the tool, right? So, so we can see that, there's obviously first aid kits. A lot of times we're seeing this, water filtration. Again, we're seeing this, this fire starter tool here. So again, the natural best bundle is the one that we saw originally, which would be, these three or some variation of these two products, right? We're seeing them over and over again. It's telling us this is commonly frequently bought together with this item, right? So the data from Amazon is telling you like these naturally will work as a good bundle to launch into this space,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have a couple different ways that we can search. So I'm sure that, I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with, if you type in bestsellers into the Amazon, Amazon search bar, it's going to show you bestsellers no matter how far you niche down into a particular category, right? So we can basically follow that trail. So let me just move these over. So basically I'm going to go down here and click on, I'm just going to go down a little bit of a trail and click on sports and outdoors. Right, and then it will constantly show us categories on the left side. So we can niche down into a bestseller in a very niche subcategory. Okay, there we go. A little slow. All right, so I'm going to click on sports and fitness here. I'll just click on that.
Just while you're doing that, we had Badra. Hi, by the way. How are you? Asked a question. Yeah. How do we use the ASIN match info in creating bundles, and what is the importance of an ASIN match? So if you wanted to go find this exact same product, this exact same ASIN, that UPC code, you want to go find that off of the shelf of wherever, Walmart, Target, wherever you buy from, that product, that very particular. Go ahead. That very particular product would be good to match with, but sorry, go ahead. There was more to that, but.
No, I was just saying, I just hope people aren't getting confused when we say ASIN match. That's the means of how the tool pulls the data, right? That's just one part of how the tool pulls the data. So you could typically use that exact product, but that's an ASIN match on Amazon. That's the product that's selling on Amazon, right? So I'm wondering if, they're getting a little bit confused. What I was talking about when we're talking about how the tool pulls the data, it pulls ASIN match and keyword match from detail pages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the question, or is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to follow. So okay, so basically I've been niching down, and I clicked on hunting and fishing, and just looking for some subcategory, right? So if I click on fly fishing tools, sorry, this is very these are very dude searches here, but. Okay, so I'm looking at now, I've niched down into a subcategory and I see bestsellers, right? So you know, what we're seeing like first bestseller here is fishing pliers, right? So like, you know, aluminum fishing pliers, hook remover, braided line, whatever. So what I can do here is I've already clicked on this and I've turned this product into a keyword, right? So I basically, and I did these searches beforehand, guys, just so you know, because I'm trying to slow down all the loading that's happening. So I apologize, that's going slow. But what I did is I took this product, turned it into a keyword. So I plugged in fishing pliers, hook remover into Amazon, and I'm able to find a bunch of products just like this. So now this is a popular bestseller on Amazon, according to Amazon's data, right? So what I can do is use the extension now to see what is commonly frequently bought together with this item, so I can create a bundle around this product, right? And leverage the good sales around these pliers and see what I can put with it and create a new product, a new listing that I can, you know, create the listing, target the keywords, run ads, all these things. So, I mean, right away, what I see is frequently bought together is with the pair of gloves, and that, you know, that makes sense to me. So they're saying that Amazon, you know, it's frequently bought with item. Again, we're seeing that again with these pliers. So that tells me right away. Also, we're seeing fishing line too. That may work. But again, we're seeing the gloves over and over and over again. And, you know, now we're even seeing some variations of you know, hook removers and things like that. So that tells me like a pair of gloves with the pliers is going to be a natural bundle that someone's going to naturally want to buy that. It's going to create, you know, an enticing offer.
And that it doesn't matter. So this is the common denominator among all fishing, you know, pliers. So you don't have to go get, so if you were going to, the important thing is if you're going to source, sometimes you're going to pull this up, especially if you're in toys and games, you might find a lot of branded items. This game goes really well with this game, that type of thing. And you can certainly use it for that reason. But this is also, if you wanted to go get a generic, you know, non-branded sort of item, you could use this bundle, put that together, and you could just do it as is, or you could almost brand it, if you wanted to, brand it as a set. So it's just saying commonly together, you know, peanut butter always goes with jelly, right? We happen to know that. That's a common one. But if you didn't, you might run peanut butter and you're going to see every variation of jelly bought as the second sort of item.
Yeah. And yeah, so, and also what I would say too is if you're resourcing some items, you want to make sure you hit a decent price point too, right? Because a lot of these items like these pliers, you know, not too bad at, you know, the $13 to $16, but what we want to be able to do is elevate our price point so we can get better margins, right? So you want to do that too. Is so we have, you know, the calculation for the price up here in the shopping cart, so that even though I clicked on these 3 products and it, you know, these 2 products here hit, you know, $12.81, so I may want to add a third item, you know, to bring this price point up so that I could actually make some profit on the item. So I'm always aware of that too. Okay, so another thing that I want to say is coming from like the private label way of doing things, Amazon is a very competitive place, right? Yeah, we can leverage like good selling items and create bundles and create unique listings. But the real way that I like to source, especially for private label products, is I like to find products that have a lot of demand outside of Amazon. And then I just use Amazon as a validation point, right? So if it's already on Amazon selling a ton and there's 10,000 products like it, it's going to be very hard to separate yourself. Yes, we can do that in bundling, but it's going to be more difficult because a lot of people have probably already discovered a lot of bundles. So what I like to do is discover products that are not on Amazon and validate them on Amazon and see how I can create a unique listing around these markets that I can find, right? One of the sites that I will search like other e-com sites and things like that. You know, places like, you know, anywhere from eBay to Etsy to e-com sites like Wish and, you know, Groupon Goods and, you know, anywhere that I can pretty much find products that are selling well on other sites that I can bring back to validate on Amazon, right? So one of the sites I just for an example, I plugged in was Wish.com, right? So Wish.com is an e-com site that is like a lot of generic Chinese-made products, and you know and what I like about Wish is they actually rate, you know, how popular a particular product is. So, you know, my general rule of thumb is if something's bought over 1,000 times on this site, it probably has some good demand representation that I can then turn that product into a keyword, right? So we turn this widget into a keyword, plug that into Amazon, and check the data and see how that product's going to work for us. So I was down here and I just found this product here, which was finger exercisers, right? Now, I was tempted to click on this, which is another phishing item, but I figured I wouldn't do that twice. So anyway, these are obviously like, and I'm not going to source from this site, right? I can source these from anywhere. Being a private label seller, I can go to China and get these manufactured myself, right? Just for example. But what I want to do is see what other products in this market that would work around this type of product.
Yeah, so just to kind of sort of summarize, so going to this page, it's a way that you can, find a lead idea, right, that has traffic, where it appears to have traffic off of Amazon, so that would give you a good indication that it might have traffic on Amazon, but also that particular site isn't very brand driven. So that already tells us kind of two things. If it's really popular off Amazon, it's probably going to be pretty popular there. Two, it's not a brand-driven thing. So you can do this, guys. We again, I just want to say we kind of come from the private label background, so we're constantly looking for things that are generic, non-branded items. You don't have to do that. You can totally use this extension any way that you want with any branded items you want and that kind of thing. But that's the reason that we like that particular site, because it tells us two things just to give us a lead. And it might end up in a dead place or it might not, but then we'll check.
Yeah, so I had to pull examples.
Barbara's waving.
Sorry.
Hi. Oh.
Hey, guys. Would y'all like to know what I'm doing in the background muted here while you're
I would love to. You're like working way over there.
I'm working. I've already created a bundle using a combination of the first and the second searches that you did, and the results in the bundle shopper tool. I'm already outsourcing.
What? How did you do that fast?
Hello, you guys.
You're wise because you're a wizard.
I'm used to like being the face, and I can just hit the mute button, and I am off. I checked keyword searches, monthly keyword searches for the first aid kit, and then camping essentials, and then I found some other camping essentials that weren't there, and I'm very, very transparent because I know a lot of my Bundle Masterclass folks are in here, so I want you to see how you can take what these guys are showing you and apply it, okay? So there's this really inexpensive kind of reflective mat that you can use to keep warm and protect yourself from the elements. So put that in a bundle along with first aid kit, along with like a knife, a Swiss Army knife, but not a Swiss Army knife, right? Not a branded one. Yeah. So I'm off building bundles just from the ideas that Abe has shown on the first two searches. I didn't get to the phishing stuff yet, but
she's gonna have this
fun, right? It's kind of fun. So I just wanted to interject and let you know that I'm still here, and this is what I'm doing in the background.
Yeah, and we're just showing like a lot of examples. I mean, if you guys have questions, we can go more about the sort of the features, but really, I mean, the cool part is, and I know that we're getting close to our hour mark, but I mean, really, guys, there's a lot of ways that you can use this. Really, any method. We have a different method. I mean, there are, like I said, 1,001 ways that you can bundle, right?
All right, so let's do it this way. In the chat, guys, okay? So I want to make sure that you're still with us here. You have Abe and Christy here on a call. Probably not something you're going to get to, you're not going to get them face to face, probably, in most situations. So ask your questions right now. I mean, really hard questions. How do you bundle? How do you create a bundle? Where do you source products? Whatever questions you have about bundling and how you can take the information that he's just showed you that the bundle shopper tool can give you, right? Ask those questions in the chat now while you have the chance. Take the opportunity. There we go, Adrian.
Well, we got him in the chat, but do we want him in the, yeah. Where do you source products? Well, I mean, that could kind of go anywhere. I mean, right? Right.
Well, I'm going to write the answer in the chat, and I'm also going to make the chat and the replay available so that name off some places so that, we've got a little laundry list here.
Okay, so when I first got started, of course, I did just pure retail, right? And I went to all my classic retail stores, the niche retail stores. So I didn't go to the Walmarts and the Targets. I went to like an Albertsons, which was, I think it's a regional sort of store in my, like the Midwest area. So you can absolutely go there. I still have one bundle that I sell that is from retail, from that type of thing. Also, wholesale. So of course, just starting with where that you're going to at least get a little bit of a margin, right? Like that gives you just you already know that that's something you're going to have to do. So you may as well start there, pluck out a product, turn it into a keyword, and then check it out. See if that's something that you want to do, especially if it's what I really like is whenever you have a wholesale a company that specializes, let's say it's just all in camping gear, right? Then you can just run all these different bundle variations, and you're going to have a supplier for a bunch of these that you can put together. So wholesale, absolutely. AliExpress, got to be a little bit careful there. There's a little bit of tricks with that, but you know that you can get things sourced pretty inexpensively. You're going to be looking for generic, non-branded items, that type of thing. And again, if you bundle them together, I usually won't bundle two AliExpress sort of things because I think it's too easy for people to find, but one will be there because the other person, maybe I'll do that with like a wholesale item as long as they're both generic. And then that's really hard for people to duplicate. So,
and I teach them how to put a custom piece in their bundles so nobody can jump on it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the exclusive bundling is kind of what I refer to that, but yeah, absolutely. So let's see, what else do we have? I'm going to go through some questions. Oh no, we've got, I scrolled up too far.
Explain how to turn something into a keyword.
All right. So yeah, I mean, so I usually just ask myself, like, what is this product, right? So if I'm going to Wish, like the way I got this keyword right here, see where it says finger exercisers right there?
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that I plugged into the Amazon box. Right
That's
now,
a keyword. When he says plugged in, I'm going to translate here. When Abe said that's what I plugged in, that is a keyword. Finger exerciser is a keyword search term. Okay.
Yeah. So I just backed it up to.
I'm sorry, Abe. I'm sorry to interrupt one more time. A keyword is a word or a series of words that people use to search for something on Amazon or Google.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's just the best way that you would describe a product. And I think, did I say this before? You have nightlight, which can be all one word, but some people spell it nightlight, two words, right? So those two things, I mean, you could search for it. Well, I actually don't know the proper way to spell it. I probably do two words, but whatever it is, you can have those two things, you know, those are key words. So whenever you pull that out, you know, it could be a flash. Right. So it's just keywords. You turn that into, and then you search for what is the most popular.
And remember sorry, Abe, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
there are keyword combinations. Keep in mind that people don't only search in English. For example, backpack in German is Rucksack. And a lot of English speakers will actually search for Rucksack. Like I grew up in a German household, so that would be, I would call that a rucksack as opposed to a backpack. So,
sure.
And especially in America, you know, a lot of, if you're selling Day of the Dead stuff, what else would you search for? Dia de los Muertos, see?
Yeah.
So,
or, you know,
yeah, Spanish words are huge when you're optimizing a listing for sure.
I know that, let's see, what was it? Because I did a lot with the Bachelorette theme, hen party, same thing. That's what they call over in Europe and in England. Yeah, they call it a hen party.
That's just funny. I'm sorry.
I know, I never heard that.
Really? You don't remember Andrew telling us that? Well, I did. Okay. But anyway, but yeah, no, my sister.
If I said that in public, I get punched in the face. That's what happened.
Yeah, what? Okay. Well, you know, anyway, you can search for both. But yeah, so that's another way to do it. But let's get to some of the.
Okay. Yeah. So let me help you out with keywords really quick right now, right? The Amazon search bar is a predictive search, right? So as you type in.
Sorry,
I didn't even.
We're goofing off over here. Barbara, say something so everyone else can see what you're doing.
This is my taxidermy hen. By the way, taxidermy is an amazing niche market to go after, guys. So I have a hen party every day in my office.
That's hilarious.
Go ahead, Abe.
Now you know. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Go on, Abe.
Yeah. No. So I was just gonna help people out a little bit about keyword discovery, right? In the simplest form of keywords, Amazon search bar is a predictive search algorithm, right? So as you type in words into Amazon search bar, Amazon is telling you what is most popular search related to that as they try and guess what you're typing in the search bar, right? So I pulled this back to finger exerciser, and you could see that finger exerciser is number 2 on this list. Ahead of it is finger exerciser and hand strengthener. So more people search for that term than the one underneath it, right? So I would click on that. And what you're seeing right now is another in-house Chrome extension that we build called AMZ Suggestion Expander. And this is going to be one of the free tools that everybody's going to get.
I was going to say, what is that and how do we get that?
Yeah.
So
the webinar
totally
said
free.
Abe was going to give something free.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and search for it right now if you want, but we'll give you a link at the end of this as well. AMZ Suggestion Expander. It's an in-house tool we built that it basically expands all of the search on Amazon. Anything you type into the search bar expands it on phrase and broad match.
But don't leave the webinar to go search for it. We're going to drop the links in the chat for you, and I'm going to email them out to you when I email the replay, so you've got the links. So don't worry about doing it now.
Yes. So that's what you're seeing here. And so this is just a very helpful tool to quickly get a number of different keywords related to the market that you're going into. And you can niche down and find other things based on keywords as well, right? So I just clicked on that search term because it was the top search, right? So it brought me to a page like this. So the most people kind of search for this product this way. And, I'm just going to hit the bundle extension in the Chrome bundle shopper extension. And it's going to show me a bunch of different products related to this type of product, right? And the first thing that I can pick up and see is this little, it's like a thigh master for your wrist or something, right? That's what it reminds me of. But,
so that's how Abe would search for it. Those are the keywords he would use, maybe not the rest of us.
I would not use, I would research data first. But, hey. So, right off the bat, I'm seeing, finger exercises with a wrist exercise. Like, yeah, why not? That makes sense, right? And we have a bunch of other different products related to this type of product, right? So, but we can see what is frequently bought together with this is, a lot of different hand exercises. And we even see this guy here who's constructed a bundle with a few different types of, hand exercising tools or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. One thing, did you have the chore chart? Did you pull that up as an example?
I did. That's going to be my last example.
Yes.
That's one product that Christy and I used to do.
Examples. Yeah, and so I want to make sure.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that.
I just did that again. I always talk over you.
No, we do it. It's fine. So there's just a couple of extra questions that I just want to because we're getting kind of lost here in the chat, and I just want to make sure that I'm going to try to get them all, but they're pouring in. Let's see. If we're not looking for private label, could you just show us an example of a branded product that we could purchase wholesale and find something to bundle with? So if you're looking for branded, that's easy. Whatever brand that you can get wholesale, start there, right? So if it's Pie Face or whatever sort of game it is, go search for that and look for those kinds of games, and then run the bundle shopper. What is most frequently purchased with whatever that item is? So if you already know your wholesaler, right, who you're going to go with wholesale, or your retailer, your supplier for the first one, run that and see what else shows up as most commonly put together. Those are the easy ones, which kind of I think maybe is why we sort of skipped over it, because the reason we don't do as much with that, which you totally can. You get a lot more velocity, but usually your margins are a little bit lower because you're paying that retail price for that brand name. That's not always the case, especially Q4. Things can get wild, but really we like so that's why. So, branded items are actually very, very easy to do from that perspective. What profit margin do you aim for in a bundle? Abe, do you want to take this one or you want me to?
Okay. So for me, I do not sell a product unless I am in double-digit profit. So I will never, ever sacrifice below $10 for that. Goes for a single private label, bundle, anything. And, if that's the mark that I'm hitting, because I need that extra room to run advertising, to do price drops, promotions. I need that flexibility. You sacrifice your margins, you die quickly. So it's all about the profit first.
So I'm the same thing, minimum double digits.
I come from a different school of thought. There's nothing wrong with that, and I would love to be more that way. But when I, my course that I launched, which is sourcing promotional companies, I source. I stay in the low game, but I also source extremely low. Most of when I purchase things, they're about $1, and then I could sell them for 10. So my ROI is 10 or 11. My ROI is fantastic, but my profit ends up being anywhere between $5 and $6, depending on what I promote. But the ultimate answer to your question, I think, is whatever is good for your business, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm cool with spending 75 cents and someone giving me $5.25 back. I'm okay with that, but not everybody is. So that's really about what you're comfortable with. But like Abe and Barbara said, really, a lot of times you're going to have to build in for those a little bit of price drops and to kind of see where the marketplace lets you naturally stay after you've been running your sponsored ads and those kinds of things. So that's the answer to that question. And
I want to back up a little bit too, because yes, this tool can be used with arbitrage finds, wholesale finds, you know, private label discoveries, and pretty much anything that, products that you've sold already that have been profitable, you can plug back in and bundle them with something, right? So there's so many ways that you can use this. We obviously could not show them all on every single facet of online selling. So, we pulled just a few examples because really we just want to showcase the tool. But our last example is something that we have sold in the past. It did extremely well for us. It's kind of a seasonal product, but it's, I'll show you how. Yeah, we've shown this plenty of times. But, so go ahead.
Okay, so or do you why don't you pull that up? And I think I was just going to say.
Yeah, what's the difference between the green and the baby blue and the turquoise? What are the difference between the colors of the boxes on the tool?
Yeah, go ahead and hover over that again. So we have that little chart there. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like we talked about this before a little bit, which is the green is exact ASIN match. So basically the tool has gone into the detail page, pulled out and found that exact ASIN frequently bought together with that item and has just matched the ASIN and pulled that up. Now, the blue one is a keyword match, right? So this is obviously probably an exact ASIN match too, but because the keyword was also, is common keywords found in there. As you can see, there's no line between these. So these these blue ones here, these were keyword matches pulled from customers who also bought. See if I hover on that, the little window pulls up, says customers also bought. And you can see, so that's where, it's just how this tool pulls the data, right? So if you want to know why is this product showing there, well, the tool found a keyword match and pulled this product up into the list, right?
And we'll get into this. So the keywords down here at the bottom, Abe, we didn't really talk about them, that they're collected there below. But if you wanted to skip all of that. So the cool thing about the ASIN match is, again, if you're doing like a branded product and you want to go find that exact product, that exact brand, right here we see this hand grip strengthener, this orange and black one, right where your mouse is. Those two, that is the exact same product. It's just a frequently bought with whichever those main products are. So that's a common denominator among those two, right? But down here at the bottom, or maybe let's show the chore chart and then we'll get into the keywords below.
Okay, so I'm skipping my next example.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you're going to skip right over to this one here?
Let's do that one. Yeah. I just want to be conscious of everybody.
So this was a product we sold a couple of years ago, right, when we first kind of met. Christy was, had her amazing strategy where she launches products with simple paper items. And it was something it was one of those things where I was like, why didn't I ever think of that? Right. So literally had some paper printed, created this kids chore chart, and these things sold like crazy. It was unbelievable. So these are basically chore charts you hang on your refrigerator. And, I have an 8-year-old son, right? I mean, he would laugh at me if I tried to do this with him, but if you want to try and keep your kids in line and behave, hey, sweep the floor or something.
Every day of the week you get a star or something and you can edit, and there's all different versions of them, right?
Cool.
Right. So, but it's basically just a magnetic piece of paper type of thing. So anyway, but if we run the extension, so all of these are different kinds. You can see on the page, they're all different shapes and sizes. They've got all different chores on here, or you can write your own chores or those types of things. But it's basically, a magnetic sort of dry erase board or something that's flimsy, that type of thing. So that's what we're looking at. But now all of these are different. And so it's important to kind of notice that all of these, the main products are all different. It's not all the same one, but a lot of the bundle ideas, regardless of whatever one it is, if you look down, you look at bundle idea number 1 or in the column 2, Abe, if you scroll down, all of these are different versions. They're either markers or they're stickers, right? And that makes sense if it's a marker, right? So if it's like a dry erase sort of material, or if it's a magnetic, that sort of material, that, you can write on the marker every week and then you erase it and then you go to the next week. Or if it's something where it's more of a piece of paper, you put the stickers on there, right? So it's a natural thing that goes together as a set, but we didn't know that until we started, of course, looking. But what was neat, we saw that with 1 or 2 items and we thought, okay, well, that's good enough information. But to see it again from a high level perspective, to see everything across the board, what is the common denominator, that tells me that is a good item. And it doesn't matter, it's not the same ASIN that repeats, which tells me I can go find a generic version. But if it was the same ASIN that repeated, that worked really, really well, I'd probably I'd try to go see if I could source that particular one or figure out why that one was the most popular. So, okay.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
we're
but
seeing many other items too, like magnetic chalkboards. I remember we saw those at Source Direct at
yeah, we
ASD.
did.
And here's some little round magnets. I mean, you could go in all kinds of directions with this.
So what I want to, because we haven't focused at all, and I kind of highlighted this. This is so funny. I highlighted this in the presentation, but Abe, let's go down here at the most common keywords in the main products down here at the little bottom, because we kind of skipped over that. But if I didn't see this as a pattern visually, right? If I wasn't seeing this with, everything that shows up with all the pictures and with the keywords, if I wasn't reading those titles down here, most common keywords in bundles, we're seeing, markers, erase, probably from dry erase, meals, colors, those types of things. You're able to kind of pull out. And the other cool thing about the most common keywords just in the main product, right? The main product is all of these are hotspot keywords that we tested, right? Do we want to call it a chore chart, or do we want to call it a responsibility chart? Do we want to call it a reward chart? Right? Do we want to call it a graph? Those different things. So we're able to see here among all of them. These are the most common ones: chore, responsibility, and chart. So that's how we had to play with our title. Those were the key words that we plucked out. We're like, these are the most frequently, this is how people describe, this is how people search for, these are the key words. So this does it just instantly, tells you, gives you that data so that you can dig down into it and say, if I want to source this product, how am I going to make my listing? What keywords am I going to at least, which ones, how do I get in the right direction? Because when we started looking at this, we only found it because we found it on, how did we find this lead? It was one of those tools. It doesn't matter. We found chore chart, and we were like, what in the world is a chore chart?
You know what? I think it was way back when we were using Trends tool.
Spectre Trends tool. Yeah. And so we found chore chart. So it never would have crossed my mind to call it a responsibility chart, or, what was the other one? The reward chart. It would never have crossed my mind to do that until we got to see that those are the keywords that people are also honing in on for the same product.
And just to elaborate on that, I would plug all those words into the search bar, like chore chart, responsibility chart, reward chart, right? I'm seeing, meal chart, menu board, I would plug all these different words in, keep running the extension to pull more and more data and find more and more products. Like I said, we're exposing a market, right? We're exposing a market around these types of products. So so basically go in and peek at every corner, check the storefronts of these different sellers, see what else they're selling. If someone's smart enough to make a paper product, smart as Christy, to make a paper product that could sell like this, chances are they got a ton of different ones, right? So check out their storefronts, see what else they're making. How easy is it to go to like Vistaprint and copy one of these and make your own chore chart tomorrow? We sell it with a set of markers, jack up the price, and cost you a few bucks, but you can sell it for 20. Sounds like a deal to me.
Right. Right. Thank you. Smart as, or as simple as. I consider myself to be a very simple person.
Simple is smart. That's the
let's just call it non-complex. Okay. I think, guys, I know we're after the hour, so I want to make sure that we get to some questions. I don't know, Barbara, if you've been keeping up with these, or Abe, if you want to read them.
I've been answering some of them.
You have? Okay, good. they've been coming in and we've been talking. So, let's see. Okay, so Abe,
on the chat.
No, you're good. Abe, why don't you just pull up? Why don't you just pull up the special deal that we have for Barbara?
Yeah, let's tell them what they get for free just for being on the webinar.
Right, just for being
on the webinar. Tell them about the offer that I negotiated with you guys. Now, here's the deal. So you understand that when somebody promotes a product, they get a bit of a commission for it, right? You understand that. In this instance, I negotiated that I did not want a commission, but instead I wanted Abe and Christy and the developer to give you guys the savings. Okay, did you understand that? So let me repeat that. I brought Abe and Christy to you because I think this tool is just mega cool as a research tool for bundlers. And I think that you can definitely use it in your business, and I wanted to help you save money. So they agreed to give you the discount on this instead of me getting any commission on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is added value, not just a bundle masterclass student, but anybody following me. What's that?
This is the
best deal that exists out there right now. You won't find a better price.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I wanted this tool to be brought to you guys. So just so you understand, this is all about you. I'm along for the ride tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, with the 3-hour conversation that Barbara and I had, we talked about a lot of things, and it just started, and she just said, you know, I really want everybody to have this, and I really think it's a good resource. So we worked this out. So we're really excited to bring it to you guys. So here we have, Deal Diva. Be sure that you use this promo code when you go click on this link, and we can put the link here in the chat. And then down here at the bottom, we have what we showed you guys earlier, the Amazon suggestion expander. You can click on that, totally free for you guys. And then the other thing, I don't know, Abe, do you want to talk about easy resellers, or do you want me to?
Yeah, so I don't have that pulled up at the moment, but yeah, Easy Reseller Tools is a product, an in-house product that we use that helps to create listings, right? So when you're able to make your own listings, you're able, you want to create the best offer possible that exists, right? So we created a little tool that helps you do that, as far as, it counts characters. It has an HTML converter. So if you could do simple like boldface and paragraph separation that you can't do in Amazon's, online things, so you can create a template and upload it into Amazon with HTML in there. Also, it has a word list maker in it. So if you upload a huge list of keyword phrases and then hit a button, it takes all the duplicate words out so that you can put the most powerful words into your listing and put the rest into your back end, because you only have 250 characters to fill in the back end search terms, right?
Oh, wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Abe, why don't you show it really quick? And just so we can kind of visually see what you're saying. So yeah, so this was for our team. We built it for our team, a team of VAs, because they were kind of building listings for us, and we wanted to get like all of the keywords that could possibly apply to our product. Like we said, it was, chore chart, responsible, all these things. Oh, there's Melvin. Melvin's our little icon. Melvin the monster. I came up with that one day, and it was like, you're crazy. And I thought, well, yeah, but So my brother made us, this quick sort of website here, but there's word counter, right? And character counters. So you have a limited number of characters that you're able to use in your title and your bullets and all these things. So if you're worried about that, you could pluck it in here, and it'll count that for you. And it could take out all of the duplicates if you happen to have those. Again, so like we said, we pulled out from all the titles and all the bullets and descriptions of all our competitors' listings when we were going to go in on something. So we wanted to capture every single possible keyword that could relate to our product, and we tossed it all in here. And of course there were a bajillion that repeated, but we were able to just pull out the unique ones, and then we were able to identify which ones we wanted to use and put into the back end of our listing. So that's how we use that tool. And then of course, as you guys know, sometimes it's easier to, when you're making a listing, doing simple HTML. You don't want to go crazy with it. That'll shut off some flags, but some basic HTML. I didn't know how to do much HTML, but really if you know how to bold, underline, italicize, those types of things, we can just put it in the converter. So all you have to do is just type it out the way you want it to look.
Oh, wow.
Right? With your bold, your underline, anything you want, and then hit the little button, and it'll say, and it'll pop up right there as the code. It turns into code for you, and then I don't know, Abe, if you want to show that, turns it into code for you.
So what I just did real quick is to show the word counter, right? So I just copied all the titles from all those products in that original CSV. Now, if you had a list of search terms that you got from, like, say, a reverse ASIN search, which is another topic, but you could download a big list of, let's even say, titles, and this basically pulled all of the duplicate words out. So it only gave you the unique words. And then what I did is clicked on frequencies, so it shows you this was the camping niche. Obviously that word is repeated 6 times. So those are like the powerful words that would maybe need to be in your title, then bullet points, and then the remainder of the words would go into your back end, right? I mean, there's a lot more behind keyword strategy, but like that's the most basic explanation I can give, right?
So guys, this is one of the free tools that Abe and Christy are going to give you when you register for their bundle shopper. And somebody was asking if this is a subscription or if it's monthly. You can either sign up for the monthly. Now you're going to save 20% either way when you use the discount code DEALDIVA. You can sign up monthly, but it is the best deal when you sign up for annual, because then it's like $80 for the first year. That's like, I don't know, $6 a month or something.
Yeah. Abe, do you want to show the screen?
Yeah, and guys,
am I not sharing?
You're sleeping if you can't use one piece of information from the bundle shopper extension to make one bundle to make one $6. Now Lisa Fong is asking a question, and we haven't talked about this, so I'm going to leave it up to them. Is it recurrent for the next year at 20% off?
Recurring. As long as you stay
Wow.
active, it's recurring. Yep.
Price
So every year after
price,
that,
same
forever.
price forever.
Wow. Okay,
And,
that's even better. I did not know this. So they're just like keeping on the value here. So I'm going to put it in the chat so we've got it in the writing. That 20% off Deal Diva price is recurring every single year. It's not just for the first year.
Yeah.
So you guys totally rock. Thank you.
Yes. So by the way, these two tools that you're seeing here are free, and obviously you have the links. Like, so you get these for free, no matter what, just for being on this webinar, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
However, if you do sign up, because we want to reward the people that take action and sign up, I have a couple additional tools that are really going to help you fast track bundle creation as far as building your listings and running ads. So, I'll show you that in a second as well. But yeah, so easy reseller tools. I know we kind of jumped off there, but it's super, super valuable for us when you're creating your Amazon listings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you do sign up, if I'll just show that, I do have a couple of things. One is my personal listing template. I usually write all of my own listings because I really enjoy writing copy, and getting the keywords into my listing is just something I really enjoy. I like getting my hands around the product and making it sell. That's my job, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a listing template that I've structured, and this is how I build all my listings. And it shows basically we have keywords, supported by the main benefit, and we write bullets with the benefits supported by the features of the product, right? And it basically has sections to pull all this data together from the different tools that we use, aggregate it, construct a really sound listing, and then upload it to Amazon without having to, have the Amazon timeout on you and those things. So we use
when they sign up for the bundle shopper, you're going to give them this.
I'll get a link and they get this.
That's
100%.
brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
And one of the first things that we do when we fill this out is the keywords. We go to the easy reseller tool. We take all the titles, all the descriptions, all the possible ways that you could describe these types of products. We pluck it into the easy reseller tool, so we get every single way, and then we toss that into this first bucket here. Disappeared. Back-end keywords, so that you have it all in one place, and you can choose to discard it or not. But then we move that up to like what's going to be an anchor keyword, and once we have our anchor keywords, then that's how we build out the title. So everything kind of we toss it all in here. Everything starts in one place, and then we can kind of piece. This goes here, and that one's best here, and this is here. So this is a really good tool to have, or just a layout to use for all of that.
This is wonderful. Okay, so let's recap. Show the screen where you're showing them everything that they get. Oh yeah, your pay-per-click guide.
Okay,
that's
so
right.
yeah, so here's one more gift, right? I'm sorry, I know I'm pulling all these out. One more gift that I'm gonna give to you is I wrote a comprehensive guide. Like I said, I've done well over 150 successful product launches on Amazon between myself and my clients. And this is the exact private label strategy that I use every single time to pretty much no fail, right? As long as you can pick a product that's not super competitive, you can follow the steps in this PPC guide to optimize your PPC campaign over time. It's extremely effective. So anyone who signs up is going to get this guide free. And I even have a video at the bottom of this that shows you exactly how I go through an Amazon search term report to quickly find the golden gap keywords that you need to put into your listing. So I show you an example of that from a live product. So super, super effective. We've only released this guide to one of our paid Facebook groups, and people having massive success with it. So I'm going to share that with anybody just for Barbara's audience who opt into the bundle shopper. So
thank you. That's incredible. Thank you so much. There's so much value here. Okay, so Neil says, I don't understand why Abe is promoting bundling when he doesn't even do it anymore. Okay, Neil, knock it off, first of all. Quit it, right? Be nice. Abe has built his business he told the story in the beginning, and the replay will be available, and he switched to private label, but I'm willing to bet that, private label also involves a little bit of bundling. And Right. They created this tool for their staff. So we keep a positive tone in my webinars. So I'm going to call you out just a little bit on that. How can you use this tool to make money on Amazon? So here's the thing. I might tell you that you can go to the Dollar Tree and get some products. If you're just starting out on Amazon and you want to create just, a dozen bundles to try it out, I'm not going to tell you to go to Alibaba and buy 1,000 units of something. I'm not going to tell you to go to a wholesaler and buy 500 units of something. I'll tell you to start by maybe buying a dozen pieces at Dollar Tree. Now, does that mean that I do that anymore? No, because I'm past that on the curve of bundling. But I know that that's how some people get started when they have limited funds. Now, Abe is sharing with you a tool that he used that helped him and his team and his clients be unbelievably successful creating bundles. Now, does it mean that he's only doing bundling? No, because he's further along the learning curve. He's further along that curve in his business. So he's sharing a tool that will help you where you're at in your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I also just want to say it was Abe's bundles. So I do the bundling. I took over some of those bundles now because we live in 2 different states now. Like I live in a different, and I have a better structure where I can actually put all the bundles. Like I have a better system here where I can put everything together. So it really became a logistics thing selling under my account. So I just want to clarify.
Right. And it looks like Neil's also making a separation between bundling and private label. So what Neil said in the beginning, or I'm sorry, what Abe said in the beginning, and Christy as well, that bundling and private label are 2 sides of the same coin. Think about it. When you're putting up a private label product and it's got 3 different products in there, that's a bundle, isn't it? So there's not the separation that you're thinking there is. So I want you to kind of break out of that thinking, Neil, and think about how you can bring products to the Amazon marketplace that meet the needs and the passions of customers.
Yeah, and can I also chime in too, because this product is actually, we called it Bundle Shopper, but it's actually fantastic for private label. So once you find a good private label product, and I run the Bundle Shopper, I want to know every other product related to that market that I could also sell for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th product, private label, and I can build a brand and expand into a brand with multiple products. So this tool actually does that too. So, yeah, I may use it for that more than structuring your typical bundle, but I'm also not against the idea of bundling. If I saw some saturation coming on my product and I need to outthink some of my competitors, guess what's next? I'm going to bundle, Yeah,
but it's under your brand, so it's private labeled. So there's, I want you guys to kind of think, kind of get rid of those barriers that are keeping you seeing private label and bundling as separate things. Right. Okay. Anyway, so Bundle Shopper tool, use promo code DealDiva for 20% off. That is a lifetime discount. So I highly recommend you sign up for the year because that is the best per month price deal. And you get all these other tools, I think 4 other tools, plus his private label kind of blueprint thing. What did you call that? The pay-per-click blueprint?
Pay-per-click. Yeah, it's a pay-per-click quick guide.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that are you going to deliver that to everybody who signs up?
Yes, so I sent. If you want to go ahead and send an email out after, I sent. I think I've already sent you the PDF and all the links. So those are ready to go.
Okay, so if you guys send me a list of everybody, go ahead and sign up so I can get that list, so I can send you an email out by tomorrow afternoon with the links to all of your bonuses. Okay, so go ahead and sign up for the Bundle Shopper tonight. And we'll get you taken care of with the bonuses in the next 24 hours. So I want to thank, before I want to make sure that go ahead and stop sharing your screen real quick. I just want to make sure that I'm honoring everybody's time and thank Abe and Christy for being here tonight. Oh my gosh, you guys gave so much value. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody who showed up tonight, who showed up in their business, who showed up to be here to learn. And I know that most of you got a lot of nuggets out of this. So go ahead and take advantage of this great offer. And if you have any questions, how can these folks reach you?
So
Abe's like, don't call me.
Yes.
Oh,
so,
no, sorry, I was typing.
No, I mean, I'm all over Facebook. Like that's usually the best place to reach out to me. Friend me on Facebook. I love Facebook. I'm on there all the time. Like I said, also we have a Facebook group. We're co-founders of a group called Seller Tradecraft. It's more of an advanced private label group, but it's really good. Follow our page, follow us on the group. It's So, but yeah, Facebook would probably be best without giving my cell phone number out.
No, don't do that. But I agree that Seller Tradecraft group is crazy cool, next level stuff. Love it. Christy, how can they contact you if they have questions?
Yeah, same thing. Facebook, I would say. Sorry, I was in the middle of typing and I was like,
No,
oh,
it's all
everything went quiet. Why did it go quiet? Okay. So Facebook. Yeah, absolutely. Just, send me a message on Facebook.
Okay, I'm going to leave it with one Seller Trade Craft, Lisa, without that that space there. And I'm going to leave it with a quote from Mike Lanigan, who says, "Thank you, Barbara, for having these experts in their field on tonight. Thanks to Christy and Abe for hitting it out of the park once again."
Oh,
So
thank you so much.
There we go. Thank you all very
we
much. And I will email out the recording and the bonuses. Talk to you guys later.
Okay, bye.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.